I want you to picture your brain as a high-end computer.
Okay.
I mean, top of the line, massive processing power, the works.
Yeah.
But what if the operating system running on that supercomputer is from, say, 1995?
Oh, that is a painful thought. I can hear the dial-up noises.
Right. It's lagging, it's overheating, and right when you're trying to run something critical,
Freeze frame.
blue screen of death.
Yeah.
Now, if that's your laptop, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
But what if that computer is the mind of a surgeon in the middle of a 12-hour procedure?
Yeah, that goes from annoying to dangerous
Yeah.
very quickly.
And that is exactly where we're going today. I've been reading through this research you sent over on something called the PQ operating system. And honestly, when I first saw positive intelligence, I got a little worried. It sounds a little fluffy. And we just talk about thinking happy thoughts here?
I get that. I really do. But no, we are definitely not talking about fluff. This isn't about affirmations or just, looking on the bright side. We're talking about neuroscience, factor analysis, hard data on how neural pathways actually form and function under stress.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Because we're looking at this specifically through the lens of a physician, someone who needs their internal OS to be crash-proof, but has absolutely zero time to go sit on a mountain for 3 hours.
That's the paradox, isn't it? The people who need mental fitness the most are the ones with the least amount of time to train for it.
Exactly.
But that's why this PQ system is so interesting. It's designed for efficiency.
So let's run a diagnostic. If we're treating the brain like a computer, the research suggests most of us are running on an OS that is just riddled with viruses.
That's the core metaphor. The creator, Shirzad Shamin, calls them saboteurs.
Saboteurs. Sounds like a spy movie.
It can feel like one inside your head sometimes. These aren't just bad moods. They are ingrained, automated neural patterns. They're the voice that wakes you up at 3 a.m. worrying about a decision you made 5 years ago.
I saw the list of them in the syllabus. There are 10.
10 distinct profiles, yeah.
That feels like a lot to keep track of. Do we all have all 10?
Everyone has a mix, usually a couple of dominant ones and some backup singers. But for your audience, for physicians and other high performers, there's this very specific unholy trinity that shows up again and again.
I think I can guess the first one. The hyperachiever.
The hyperachiever is practically a prerequisite for medical school.
But wait, help me with this. How is being a hyperachiever a bad thing? If I'm having surgery, I want my doctor to be an achiever. I do not want the hyper-slacker.
Fair point. You want them to be competent. But here's the trap. The hyperachiever saboteur ties your self-worth entirely to your last success. It's a "what have you done for me lately" virus running in the background.
So it's the treadmill effect.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You could save 3 lives on Tuesday, but if you have an awkward conversation on Wednesday, the hyperachiever tells you you're a failure. It makes self-acceptance completely conditional.
And for a physician, that must create this background hum of constant anxiety. You can never actually arrive.
Never. Okay, so what's number 2 in the Trinity?
The controller.
Ah, yes, the micromanager.
I feel like it's deeper than that, though.
It is. It's an anxiety-based need to force certainty on a world that is inherently uncertain. And in medicine, things are unpredictable.
Wildly. Patients crash. Schedules change.
And the controller saboteur screams, if I don't control every single variable, something terrible will happen.
I can just imagine how that destroys a team dynamic. An attending physician with a raging controller virus. The nurses and residents must be miserable.
It just erodes trust. You aren't delegating, you're hovering. And it completely exhausts the physician.
So we have the hyperachiever running the treadmill, the controller trying to steer the ship alone, and the third one surprised me. The avoider.
Yes.
I mean, when I think of doctors, I don't think avoidance. They run toward the emergency.
This is the most misunderstood one. The avoider isn't about being lazy. It's about being allergic to negative emotion, to conflict.
Give me a clinical example.
It's the doctor who will work themselves to the bone but procrastinate for weeks on having a difficult conversation with a colleague. Or they'll put off charting because it's tedious.
Okay.
The avoider says, let's just focus on the medicine and ignore all the messy human stuff.
And of course, ignoring it just makes it fester.
Which generates more stress. So you get this cocktail, the hyperachiever whipping you, the controller terrified of letting go, and the avoider hiding from the hard conversations. The research argues these saboteurs generate all your stress.
All of it. That's a bold claim. I mean, isn't it the hospital administration, the insurance companies?
The situation is the situation. That's external reality. The stress, the anxiety, the frustration, the guilt that comes from how your saboteurs interpret the situation.
Okay, so Diagnosis complete. We are infected. Now what? How do we fix it? We can't just uninstall the software?
No, but you can build a firewall. And this brings us to the core of the PQ system. It's built on 3 mental muscles. The first is just the interceptor spotting the saboteur. But the second one, that's where the magic happens. It's called self-command.
The syllabus talks about PQ reps. And I have to be honest, when I read that, I thought, this is too simple to actually work.
It does sound deceptively simple, but think of it like a bicep curl. Lifting a dumbbell once is simple. Lifting it 1,000 times changes your anatomy.
So what is a PQ rep physically?
It's shifting your focus from your thinking mind to a physical sensation for just 10 seconds.
Seconds, that's it.
10 seconds. Let's try one right now, seriously.
Okay, I'm game. What do I do?
Take 2 fingers, say thumb and forefinger, and rub them together.
Okay, rubbing my fingers.
Now focus on that sensation with such intensity that you can feel the microscopic ridges of your fingerprint.
Okay.
Really dial into it. Let everything else just drop away for a moment.
It's surprisingly hard to hold that focus. My brain wants to jump back to the script.
That jump, that's the saboteur trying to reclaim control. The act of bringing your attention back to the ridges, that is the rep. You just did a bicep curl for your brain.
And the idea is a busy doctor can do this anywhere.
Anywhere. Scrubbing in, feel the water on your skin, walking down the hall, feel the weight of your feet hitting the floor. You are physically interrupting the stress signal and activating what's called the sage brain region.
Okay, so I've done my reps. I've stopped the spiral. I've quieted the saboteur. The system says the next step is to shift to sage.
This is the software upgrade.
And this is where you need to sell me. Because the core belief of the sage is that every situation can be converted into a gift or opportunity. And if I'm a physician and I've just made a mistake, or a patient has had a terrible outcome, calling that a gift sounds incredibly tone-deaf.
I agree. It sounds delusional. If you interpret gift as this is a good thing that happened, you should be kicked out of the hospital. That is not what it means.
What does it mean?
The gift is in the response. It means that even in the darkest situation, there is a way to move forward that creates value or learning or help for others. It's the difference between agonizing over the past and acting in the present.
Okay. To make this practical, the system gives us 5 sage powers. So instead of just listing them, let's walk through a scenario.
Let's do it.
Okay. You're an attending physician. You're tired. You find out a patient's family has filed a formal complaint about your attitude.
That stings.
Right. So the saboteur brain just lights up. The hyperachiever feels like a failure. The controller wants to argue. How do we use the sage powers here? The first one is empathize.
So normally we skip this, we go straight to defense mode, but the sage uses empathize first, and often it's with yourself.
With yourself?
Yes, you have to stop the internal bleeding. You just say, this hurts, I'm exhausted, I tried my best, and this hurts. If you don't offer yourself that compassion, you're just acting out of defensiveness.
Okay, so we've stopped the shame spiral.
Right.
Next power, explore.
The saboteur judges. The sage explores. This is pure curiosity. Instead of, this family is crazy, you ask, what is actually happening here? What was the specific moment that triggered this? You become a detective, not a defendant.
That shifts the energy completely. You're just looking for data. Next up, innovate.
Now that you aren't defensive and you have the data, you can ask, what's a new way to handle this? The standard way might be a form letter from admin, but innovate might say, what if I called them personally? What if I just listened for 10 minutes?
You're looking for solutions outside the box.
Right. Which leads to navigate.
And what's that?
Navigate is your compass. It asks the big question. At the end of my career, looking back on this moment, what will I wish I had done?
Oh, I love that. Because the old wise you probably doesn't care about winning the argument.
Exactly. The old wise you probably cares about integrity and connection. It clarifies everything.
And finally, activate.
This is pure action. But it's not the frantic, anxiety-fueled action of the controller. It's calm, laser-focused execution. You make the call. You hold the meeting. You do it without the background noise.
So the workflow is cache the saboteur reaction, do a PQ rep to reset, and then cycle through these powers.
It's a protocol, just like a code blue algorithm. Saboteur, PQ rep, sage.
It sounds great. It really does. But I have to play devil's advocate for every busy professional listening. I work 80 hours a week. I have a family. I barely have time to eat. You want me to sign up for a mental fitness program?
The I don't have time objection is the biggest hurdle. And frankly, if this were a lecture series, I'd say don't do it. But the implementation, the way it was designed, is built on what's called a Pagil model.
Meaning what?
It uses gamification. It treats mental fitness exactly like physical fitness or a video game.
Because high achievers love a high score.
They cannot resist it. The program uses an app. You have a charge meter. You track sage steps. You get stats. It turns the chore of mindfulness into a challenge to be won.
And what's the actual time commitment? Be real with me.
About 15 minutes a day, but, and this is key, it's not 15 contiguous minutes.
Yeah.
It's a 2-minute PQ gym session in the elevator. It's a 3-minute focus clip on your commute. It's scattered micro habits.
That seems manageable.
Yeah.
But the syllabus also mentions pods. Now, if you tell a bunch of doctors they have to join a support group, they're going to run for the hills.
Yeah, support group is bad branding for this crowd. Think of a pod more like a locker room strategy session.
Okay, that's better.
Physicians are so isolated they feel they have to be stoic, that they can never admit weakness. The pod is a small group, maybe 3 or 4 peers, who meet for 30 minutes a week just to check in on the mental fitness stats.
So it's accountability.
It's accountability, but it also breaks that isolation. Just hearing another high-performing doctor say, yeah, my controller saboteur totally hijacked me during rounds yesterday, is incredibly validating.
It normalizes the struggle.
It really does.
So putting this all together, we aren't asking people to change their personalities. We aren't asking them to become Zen monks.
No, not at all. We are asking them to upgrade the processor.
We're identifying the malware, the hyperachiever, the controller. We're installing a firewall with these 10-second PQ reps.
And we're learning to run new software, the Sage powers, to handle the complex stuff.
And the promise of the research is that when you do this, you don't lose your edge. That's the big fear, right? If I'm not stressed, I won't work hard.
Exactly. My anxiety is my fuel.
Yes.
But it's dirty fuel. It burns hot, and it destroys the engine over time. The Sage provides clean fuel. You can still work hard, you can still save lives, but you do it with a sense of ease and flow.
Not just white-knuckling it.
You perform better, and you actually get to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build.
That brings us to the end of our deep dive, and I want to leave everyone with something to chew on. We talked about the navigate power.
That idea of consulting your older, wiser self.
It's my favorite tool in the box.
So here is the challenge. If you're listening to this, and you're feeling the weight of the profession, the burnout, the pressure, I want you to fast forward. Imagine you are at your retirement party. You've hung up the white coat. You're looking back at today.
From that vantage point, how important is the thing that is stressing you out right now?
And more importantly, what is the one thing that older, wiser you would tell you to do differently today?
I'm willing to bet the answer isn't check your email one more time.
Probably not. It's probably something like take a breath.
So let's take that literally.
Yeah.
Before you rush to the next podcast or the next patient, try 1 PQ rep. Just 10 seconds.
Feel your feet on the floor. Interrupt the spiral.
Start the upgrade. Thanks for diving in with us.
We'll see you next time.